Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce the Administrator of DEA, Ann Milgram.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. A special thanks to Jody Cash's family and to all of you. It means the world to us to have you here. We're now going to unveil Jody's picture. And I'd ask for a moment of silence.
At this time, I would ask the Attorney General of the United States, the Honorable Merrick Garland, to join Administrator Ann Milgram for the placing of a wreath at the Wall of Honor. At this time, I'm going to ask the Cash family to lay roses in front of the Wall of Honor for Task Force Officer Jody Cash. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment of silence for all 88 fallen heroes on the DEA Wall of Honor, followed by a lone bagpiper from the DEA Black and Gold. At this time, I would invite our DEA Memorial families to return to the DEA Museum along with those who are participating in the memorial service. I invite our invited guests and dignitaries from our retired agent community and others to please move to the auditorium for your seats. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean Ferns with the DEA Community Outreach Section, serving as the MC for today's program. Welcome to DEA's annual memorial service. Welcome to those here in the audience and those watching via webcast from DEA offices and homes across the globe. We are honored to have many families of our fallen heroes returning today. They are joined today by the family of Task Force Officer Jody Wayne Cash from Kentucky. We welcome all of you. We welcome Attorney General Merrick Garland, Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, Director of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, Dr. Arul Gupta, Director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Steve Dielbach, Deputy Director of the U.S. Marshal Service, Roberto Robinson, as well as 5 former DEA administrators. A special welcome to our National Law Enforcement Association colleagues and retired employees and supporters of the DEA family who are joining us this morning. In a moment, I'm going to ask everyone to stand for the presentation of the colors by the Arlington County Police Department Honor Guard. Following the presentation of the colors, please join our soloist, Linda Hayes Bennett, in singing our national anthem. And then please remain standing for the invocation from Dr. Mary Kay Balchunas, mother of fallen DEA Task Force Officer Jay Balchunas. Please rise.
Present arms. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, the run that we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Right shoulder, arms. Forward, arms. Right, face. Forward, march.
Let us pray. Creator God, we come before you today asking you to bless this occasion as we commemorate those who have courageously given their lives to protect and serve others. We pray that you will continue to comfort, strengthen, and provide peace to the families, co-workers, friends, and communities of these fallen heroes as we reflect on their brave and unselfish actions that caused them to make the ultimate sacrifice. May their memories forever be a blessing to all who knew them, and may their memories continue to serve as testament of honor for all who wear a badge. It is in deep faith that we offer this prayer. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce and welcome back to DEA Attorney General of the United States, the Honorable Merrick Garland. Sworn in as the 86th Attorney General in March of 2021, Attorney General Garland leads the Justice Department's 115,000 employees dedicated to upholding the rule of law, keeping our country safe, and protecting the civil rights of all Americans. Please welcome Attorney General Garland.
Good morning. It is an honor to join with you today to remember the DEA task force officers and agents who have given their lives in service to our country. We remember the courage with which they worked and with which they lived. We recommit ourselves to the mission to which they dedicated their lives, and we recognize the ongoing and everyday sacrifices of the families they left behind. Today, we memorialize the service and sacrifice of DEA Task Force Officer Jody Wayne Cash, who died in the line of duty in May 2022. His name has now been added to the DEA Wall of Honor. Task Force Officer Cash dedicated his life to public service with a 22-year career in law enforcement. He served Kentucky's communities with distinction, including as a task force officer in Paducah. His tour of duty also included posts with the Callaway County Sheriff's Office, where he served as chief deputy, the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, the Kentucky State Police, and the Murray State University Police Department. He is remembered by those who knew him as a compassionate and dedicated law enforcement officer, a selfless public servant, and a loving, witty, and adventurous man. I was not fortunate enough to know Task Force Officer Cash, but I was moved by reading tributes to him written by those who did know him. The tributes describe someone who was generous with his time and genuine in his interactions, who placed the needs of others above his own, and who lit up a room with his smile. I would like to acknowledge the family members, loved ones, and colleagues of Task Force Officer Cash who are with us today. To his wife, Michelle, his stepdaughter, Madison, and his parents, Teresa and Wayne, thank you for being here. I also want to acknowledge his son, Jackson. On behalf of the entire Department of Justice, I extend our deepest condolences for your loss and our unending gratitude for your support of Task Force Officer Cash throughout his career. I also want to acknowledge the family members present today of fallen DEA Task Force officers and agents whose names were previously added to the wall. These include Task Force Officer Jay Valchunas, Special Agent Terrence Loftus, Special Agent Frank Tomillo, Special Agent James Terry Watson, and Special Agent Meredith Thompson. Thank you to the families who are here today with us. I also want to thank the family members of Special Agent Michael Garbo and Special Agent Thomas Byrne, Jr. for being with us again this year. We are grateful for your presence. It is impossible to know your grief or to fully comprehend your sacrifice. We thank you. We mourn with you, and we will strive to honor the legacies of your loved ones. Every day, DEA agents and our partners in law enforcement agencies across the country put their lives on the line for the communities they serve. You work to disrupt the most violent drug trafficking organizations and gangs and to hold those who run them accountable. You work to keep deadly drugs off of our streets and to help those suffering from addiction and abuse. You work to protect our communities and to keep our country safe. The Justice Department will use every available resource to keep law enforcement officers safe. It is what you need, and it is what you deserve. Every day, through our work, we will honor the memories of the fallen members of our law enforcement family, and we will be resolute in our pursuit of the mission to which they gave their lives. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce and welcome back to DEA Deputy Attorney General of the United States, the Honorable Lisa Monaco. Deputy Attorney General Monaco is the Chief Operating Officer of the Department of Justice. DEA and the other law enforcement entities of the department report to Deputy Attorney General Monaco. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco.
Thank you, and good morning. I also want to acknowledge and thank Ann Milgram, the administrator, for her service and dedication to the men and women of the DEA and to its mission. It's an honor to be with all of you this morning to remember the fallen heroes of the Drug Enforcement Administration. 50 years ago, the DEA was established to protect the American people from the illegal narcotics trade and the violence it carries with it. Over that half-century, the men and women of DEA have dedicated themselves to working as a team to keep the country safe from dangerous drugs and violent drug trafficking organizations. That mission is more critical now than ever, as the DEA combats a fentanyl crisis and the violent cartels that pump it into our communities. The men and women of DEA are leading the fight against a deadly threat to our public health, our public safety, and our national security. It's a fight that is putting DEA agents and task force officers in harm's way every single day. Because of DEA's work with federal, state, and local partners across the country and indeed around the world, thousands of violent drug traffickers have been arrested in the last year, tens of millions of fentanyl pills, and thousands of firearms have been seized. But that work and that extraordinary service by DEA professionals too often comes at the ultimate cost. Today, we honor those DEA employees and task force officers who did not return home, those members of the DEA family who made the ultimate sacrifice. We gather here to lift up their legacies, to remember their bravery and heroism in service to the DEA, to the Department of Justice, and to the nation. This morning, we've added Task Force Officer Jody Wayne Cash's name to the Wall of Honor. Throughout his lengthy law enforcement career, Task Force Officer Cash served his community and his country with distinction and honor. I didn't know Task Force Officer Cash, but like the Attorney General, I've been reading about him. And what I learned made me smile. I learned that he served nobly and generously. I learned that he served in the best tradition of the law enforcement profession, selflessly and focused on his community. By placing his name on the Wall of Honor, we make a commitment to honoring his legacy and the legacy of all the fallen heroes. I join the Attorney General and the Administrator in acknowledging the family and loved ones and colleagues of Task Force Officer Cash and all the families of the fallen who are with us today and who are spread across the country. It's because of your love and support that those we honor this morning were able to give of themselves, were able to put their lives on the line for others. So, in a very real sense, their service is your service too. Today, we also honor your sacrifice. Our country is safer because of the dedication of the public servants that make up the DEA and because of the sacrifices of those we honor this morning. Thank you.
It is now my honor to introduce DEA Administrator Ann Milgram. Ms. Milgram was nominated by President Biden and then confirmed by the United States Senate as Administrator of DEA in June of 2021. Please join me in welcoming our DEA Administrator, the Honorable Ann Milgram.
Good morning. Thank you, Attorney General Garland, Deputy Attorney General Monaco, and to all our distinguished guests and friends here today. A special thank you also to Dr. Balchunas for that beautiful invocation. We are honored to have DEA Task Force Officer Jody Cash's family here with us today. His wife, Michelle, his stepdaughter, Madison, his father, Wayne, and his mother, Teresa, along with friends, Mark, Heather, Max, Ashley, and Dayton. Thank you for being with us. Task Force Officer Jody Cash was a part of your family, and he was a part of our DEA family. Today and every single day, we honor him and we hold him in our memory and in our hearts. I'm so grateful to Michelle, Jody's wife, and to members of our Paducah County Task Force for speaking with me about Jody's life and work. He was a remarkable man. Service, community, and family. Those are the values that defined Jody Cash's life and work. Service. He served an entire career with the state police, and when he retired, he was called upon to serve again by the sheriff of Callaway County, who asked Jody Cash to become his deputy. He heard that call and he said yes. And then he got another call from our men and women on that task force. We asked him to become a part of the DEA task force, and he heard that call and he said yes. And he loved the job. He's described as someone who did the job, every part of it well, and always with a smile on his face and a positive attitude. One of the things I've learned about Task Force Officer Jody Cash that I loved and want to share with you is that his partner on the task force got a call from him almost every Saturday night around 5 p.m. Jody would say, "Hey, buddy." Jody wasn't out with his family. He wasn't out with his friends. He was sitting in the DEA task force office. He was working. He got the nickname Mr. Saturday Night because he was relentless in doing what he did. And he would call and say, "Hey, buddy," and he'd be working on an investigation or on a case or about to go out on the street. Another thing that I learned from the task force team is that they were out on an operation one night. They went to get snacks because they had a break. Jody got his favorite snacks, hard-boiled eggs and beef jerky, I'm told. And then an emergency call came in. They had to sprint out of Love's truck stop. They went out, they did the operation, and at the end, everyone was ready to go home. And Jody said, "No, we can't go home yet. We have to go back to Love's truck stop because I didn't pay for the hard-boiled eggs and the beef jerky." And so they went back so he could pay. And that's just who he was. He served every single day of his life, and a good friend referred to him as someone who had a servant's heart. Community is another way in which Jody Cash's life was defined. He worked with the Special Olympics throughout his entire life and his career. His wife, Michelle, told me about a time in late 2021 where there was a devastating tornado just down the road. Nobody asked Task Force Officer Jody Cash to go. He just went every single day. And he asked the question, "How can I help? What can I do? Do you need food? Do you need water?" And has been described to me by Michelle and by others as someone who would give you the shirt off his back. And that's literally what he did. He went home one day and he and Michelle and Madison went through their closets to donate their clothes to the families who had lost everything. It was just who he was, and every fiber of his body was a man who served others and served his community. Family. I've heard a lot about Jody's love for his family. The time he spent with his parents. He loved to go fishing with Wayne. I got to see incredible photographs today of the giant bass that they often caught, which are remarkable. He loved to tease his sister and ask their mom who was the favorite child. And he loved to spend time with Michelle and with Madison. And one of my favorite stories is that he would wake up at the crack of dawn every Monday, go to Bible study, and then stop at Michelle's favorite coffee place to bring her a cup of coffee at home before she started her day. He was devoted to Madison and also to his son Jackson, who's not with us today because he plays the trumpet in his school band, and this is their last concert of the year. He also plays in Paducah at their memorial service every year and plays taps, and I'm told that Jody was very, very proud of him for that. So today we honor Jody Cash's life and we honor his sacrifice. He made the ultimate sacrifice to protect us. And I want to recognize and take a moment to thank all of the other families who are here with us today, who also have made that ultimate sacrifice. The families of Group Supervisor Mike Garbo, Task Force Officer Jay Balchunas, Special Agent Octavio Gonzalez, Special Agent Tom Byrne Jr., Special Agent Terry Loftus, Special Agent Frank Tumio, Special Agent Terry Watson, and Special Agent Meredith Thompson. Every single day, the men and women of DEA are putting their lives on the line to protect us, to protect our communities, to protect our national security, and to protect the next generation of Americans. There is no one that I admire more than the men and women of DEA, our special agents in the field, our task force officers, our men and women in diversion and at headquarters, all of whom take on our most important mission, which is today as it has ever been, which is to protect Americans from deadly drugs. And it has never, ever been more critical. I want to close by reminding all of us what we know. When you join DEA, your family joins with you. The service that you give is also your family's service. and the sacrifice of so many men and women, extraordinary men and women who we've lost, is also your sacrifice. We are so grateful to each and every one of you, and you are part of our family now and forever. May DEA Task Force Officer Jody Cash forever rest in peace. Thank you.
Born in Princeton, Kentucky, Task Force Officer Cash was a 22-year law enforcement veteran. He served 2 years with the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office as a deputy, 6 years with the Callaway County Sheriff's Office, and 8 with the Kentucky State Police, from which he retired as a sergeant in 2018. Task Force Officer Cash graduated from the Kentucky State Police Academy in 2011 as valedictorian of his class. He also served 6 years at the Murray State University Police Department, achieving the rank of Assistant Chief.
Jody had a very big heart. He had a very close relationship spiritually with God. He loved his family. He loved his friends. Especially loved Michelle, his parents, his sister, his son, Madison. Just everyone around him was his life. Whenever he walked into a room, he just brought a happiness and a laughter, whether that was some new corny joke he had heard, a funny story about his family or friends or work. There are things, I still remember his laugh and watching him like slap his knee with his hand. He was just a very happy individual, a very positive individual to be around, and is definitely going to be missed.
Jody was a prankster. He loved to laugh, and he loved to have other people laugh. Jody was just an all-around good guy. He never met a stranger. And if he was somewhere and there was a bunch of people and there was one person that seemed like they didn't fit in or wasn't, talking to the group by themselves, he would make a point to go over and make sure that person felt included.
I never saw the dude upset. I never saw him angry. He was always in the best mood. And when you talk about, truly happy, inspirational people, it was him for sure. I mean, he was one of the nicest human beings that I've ever known. That's for sure.
Yeah, I met Jody Cash several years ago before I was in the DEA when I was on the state task force, and he was one of those guys that when you met him, you didn't forget him. He had that kind of personality, and he was a great asset to our group. He brought the valuable experience, that positive attitude, and was always there to help. No matter what else he had going on with his other responsibilities, he was always willing to help, and really brought that light to our unit with his personality and that smile. And it's something that can't be replaced.
He loved people. He was as very much, he loved his job, but he was as true to his job, putting other people first, as anything he could ever do. I mean, that multiple times showed throughout the community here, whether it was the school system or whether it was a local issue or whether it was being the first on the scene or first in need to a friend. He was always there. He was very true, not only to his job, but as a friend. He was the kind of guy you wanted. He was the kind of guy would be the first one in the building, the last one out. He not only had that part about him and component where he was really good at what he did, he was also really good at being a friend. So I could have never asked for a truer friend. Jody was that guy on and off duty. I think that's what your listeners or the time honoring needs to see, that there wasn't a difference. This guy served people, no matter who he was.
At this time, I'd ask Administrator Milgram, Attorney General Garland, and Deputy Attorney General Monaco to come forward for a presentation to the family of DEA Task Force Officer Jody Cash. I ask the family of Task Force Officer Jody Cash to also come forward. His widow, Michelle, his stepdaughter, Madison Martin, and his parents, Teresa and Harold Wayne. Today, Callaway County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy and DEA Task Force Officer Jody Cash is being added to the DEA Wall of Honor and presented with plaques to that effect. We will now read DEA's memorial roll. As is our tradition, our readers are, in order of their service, former DEA administrators Jack Lawn, Karen Tandy, Michelle Lenhart, Robert Patterson, and Timothy Shea. I would ask them to come forward at this time.
Agent Stafford E. Beckett. Agent Charles Archie Wood. Agent Joseph W. Floyd. Agent Bert S. Gregory. Agent James T. Williams. Agent Louis L. Marks. Agent James E. Brown. Agent James R. Kerrigan. Agent John W. Crozier. Agent Spencer Stafford. Agent Andrew P. Sanderson. Agent Anchor M. Banks. Agent Wilson S. Shee. Agent Mansell R. Beryl. Special Agent Hector Jordan. Police Officer Gene A. Clifton. Special Agent Frank Tumillo. Special Agent George F. White.
Special Agent Richard Heath, Jr. Special Agent Amir Benitez. Detective Gerald Sawyer. Investigator Leslie S. Grosso. Special Agent Nicholas Fragos. Secretary Mary M. Kean. Special Agent Charles H. Mann. Secretary Anna Y. Munger. Fiscal Assistant, Anna J. Pope. Supervisory Clerk Typist, Martha D. Skeels. Clerk Typist, Mary P. Sullivan. Special Agent Larry D. Wallace. Special Agent James T. Lunn. Special Agent Ralph N. Shaw. Special Agent Octavio Gonzalez. Special Agent Francis J. Miller.
Special Agent Robert C. Lightfoot. Special Agent Thomas J. Devine. Special Agent Larry N. Carwell. Detective Marcellus Ward. Special Agent Enrique Camarena. Deputy Sheriff James A. Avant. Criminal Investigator Kevin L. Broche. Criminal Investigator Charles M. Bassing. Office Assistant Susan M. Heffler. Special Agent William Ramos. Special Agent Raymond J. Stastny. Special Agent Arthur L. Cash. Detective Terry W. McNett. Special Agent George M. Montoya. Special Agent Paul S. Sema. Special Agent Everett E. Hatcher. Special Agent Ricky C. Finley.
Investigator Joseph T. Aversa. Investigator Wally Howard, Jr. Special Agent Eugene T. McCarthy. Special Agent Alan H. Wynn. Special Agent George Douglas Aldhouse. Special Agent Becky L. Jujeski. Detective Stephen J. Streel. Special Agent Richard E. Fass. Special Agent Frank Fernandez, Jr. Special Agent J. W. Seal. Special Agent Meredith Thompson. Special Agent Juan C. Vars. Special Agent Frank S. Wallace, Jr. Legal Technician Shelley D. Bland. Dispatcher Rana L. Chafee. Office Assistant Carol J. Fields. Legal Technician Carrie A. Lenz. And Special Agent Kenneth G. McCullough.
Special Agent Sean E. Curl. Pilot Instructor Larry Stylen. Special Agent Royce D. Trammell. Diversion Investigator Alice Faye Hall Walton. Telecommunications Specialist Elton Lee Armstead. Special Agent Terrence Loftus. Special Agent Don C. Ware. Narcotics Bureau Special Agent J. Balkanos. Special Agent Thomas Byrne. FBI Special Agent Samuel S. Hicks. Special Agent Forrest Lehman. Special Agent Chad Michael. Special Agent Michael Weston. Special Agent James Terry Watson. Detective
Brent L. Hanger, Detective Jorge R. Del Rio, Detective Stephen C. Arnold, Special Agent Michael G. Garbo, and Chief Deputy Jody Wayne Cash.
For over 20 years, the DEA Black and Gold Pipes and Drums have helped to carry on the proud tradition of bagpipe bands at law enforcement events by performing at the DEA Memorial Service, at funerals, ceremonies, and community anti-drug events across the United States. The band is comprised of active and retired DEA special agents, task force officers, intelligence research specialists, and telecommunications specialists who volunteer their time and talents to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. They will perform for us now.
DEA Black and Gold Pipes and Drums. By attack. DEA Black and Gold Pipes and Drums. Minstrel Boy. All right, quick, march.
Attorney General of the United States of America, Merrick Garland, the Administrator of the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, Ann Milgram, Pipe Major, Black and Gold Pipes and Drums, Brandon Hogan. I am honored, as always, Piper selected this morning to present the last salute. We remember a fine spring morn, dark, cold, and wintry night. Your loved ones left the warmth of your sides. Never, ever. But when I hear the call of the pipes, the tattoo of the drums as they echo in the hills, I will come and I will stand the line. And you should know this, that whether you stand with me or against me, I will fight till death. And that the Lord should decide to take me before you, and you should know this, that my brothers and sons and my sisters and daughters will pick up my sword and continue to stand the line. But oppression, anarchy, and evil shall not prevail. As long as I stand the line. Today, let us remember these warriors who have stood beside us. Today, let us remember we carry their swords. DEA Black and Gold, Pipes and Drums, Marine Tim. By the right,
We thank the DEA Black and Gold Pipes and Drums for their salute to DEA and our fallen heroes. It is important that we are reminded of DEA's fallen heroes throughout the year, and that they continue to inspire us in the important work we do. DEA has produced a video montage of some of our wonderful ways our fallen heroes are remembered through the footprints they leave behind, the efforts of their families and friends, and their legacies that continue on.
Here in this hallowed place, the names on the Wall of Honor personify the DEA's long and proud history defending this nation with inimitable courage and unwavering resolve. In that space, and among the patriots honored there, are stories of heroism, of daring, of commitment, and of valor. Every day, the absence of these brave colleagues and so many others who've made the ultimate sacrifice for the country they loved is felt across every level of the Department of Justice, by every member of the law enforcement community, and by all of those who benefited from their service and were protected under their watch. We lost them long before their time, and we will never know all the accomplishments their futures might have held. But there can be no doubt that each of them left the world a better place.
These memorial services honor those we have lost, but they are just as much about honoring the families.
I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. So many of you have been here year after year, and you know the importance of being here and seeing our memorial families.
We share your pain, and while nothing can ever fill the loss of a loved one, know that you will always have the DEA family by your side.
It's amazing to think that every day men and women of the DEA serve on the front lines of law enforcement, here at home and in 69 other countries around the world, oftentimes risking your lives to protect the American people from deadly drugs and the criminal organizations that profit from trafficking it in our country.
It's a very special day for DEA. This day is the most hallowed day on DEA's calendar. It's a moment when we remember our DEA heroes, those who have died in the line of duty.
The lives of those that we are here to celebrate today all share the same thread. They had chosen to be part of something bigger than themselves. That mindset is noble. To the families of those that have lost, thank you for sharing those you cherished. All of them made us better for the time we shared.
As we close this service, we extend special thanks to the Arlington County Police Honor Guard, Dr. Mary Kay Balchunas, our soloist, Linda Hayes Bennett, accompanied by DEA's own Tammy Pugh, the DEA Black and Gold Pipes and Drums, the many volunteers and staff that made this event happen, Attorney General Garland, Deputy Attorney General Monaco, our former DEA administrators, our current and retired federal law enforcement colleagues, all for your attendance at today's program. This concludes our service. Thank you all for joining us to remember and honor the fallen members of our DEA family, never to be forgotten. Please remain seated until our memorial families have exited the auditorium. Thank you.